This is too much yellow. We have a situation.
I certainly did not expect to discover sustained electromagnetic spikes in critical areas of our home, but upon finding them, we were able to make actionable changes. Perhaps you would have similar findings. Let's take a look. It all started when I borrowed a coworker's TF2 EMF meter. This is a mid-range consumer-grade model that retails for around $200. I began, like any tourist, measuring devices that I knew rapidly drew down a lot of current. And sure enough, they did. But values only spiked while the appliances were on, and the signal dramatically fell off when separated by only a few short meters. I should responsibly mention the harm caused by either high or chronic exposure to these electromagnetic frequencies is certainly debatable, especially in adults, while the more robust data stems from chronic elevated exposure to small children and its association with leukemia. For the purposes of this video, we'll keep our meter on the standard magnetic setting, ideally looking for values below 3 milligauss. Basically anything that rubs fast enough to generate static electricity should produce a reading.
Hey, what are you measuring?
I was pretty curious to test the Wi-Fi router, and while the RF readings were high, the magnetic flux densities weren't alarming, and certainly dissipated a couple feet away. The less assuming rooms predictably remained low, and while a couple electronic EMF readings did surprise me, they probably shouldn't have had I give it a little more thought. Thus far, I'm relatively happy with the findings. Really, the only rooms left to check are the bedrooms. And certainly, it's desirable to have low levels here because we spend so much of our lives here. The kids' bedroom is completely fine. However, ours is a different matter.
What? Right where I lay my head?
With levels like that, no wonder I thought I could make a living producing YouTube videos.
She's gonna have to switch sides. Actually, hers isn't that much better.
My first thought was this has to be a wiring issue.
Okay, let's shut off the light. This is off the charts. Shutting off the light knocked it down a little bit.
After turning the lights off and on, I saw modest level changes, but nothing that could explain the abnormally high readings. I tracked the wall socket wiring into the crawl space, but wasn't able to replicate the elevated readings like those found on the pillow, especially on my side of the bed. Running out of ideas, I checked the spot directly underneath our bedroom, on the main floor, only to discover similarly high readings.
Huh.
Which gave me an idea.
Oh.
I think that's where the power lines feed into our home.
Oh, duh.
Distance from the source seems to be the key. I ran upstairs to check the other side of the bed. Sure enough, readings at the foot of the bed are lower. So while it's difficult or costly to get power lines moved, the couple adjustments we can make are to keep devices and appliances, including dishwashers and dryers, off after bedtime, to keep electron flow low, and also sleep with our heads on the other side of the bed. It's worth mentioning, while not a new technology, PEMF or pulse electromagnetic frequency pads are beginning to enjoy a resurgence. Another resurgence, I should say. Some people refer to these as grounding mats. They're actually designed to mimic Earth's natural fields. Now, we've swung a long way from possibly causing cancer to perhaps even being beneficial. But there may be a place where we actually could all be correct. You see, it's important to point out that not only are these mats utilizing very low milligauss, but they also are pulsing at a much lower frequency than many of the electronics and appliances that reside in our own homes. Ultimately, I think it's fair to say that sustained exposure to high energy, high frequency electromagnetic fields could potentially pose a health risk, while lower energy, lower frequency fields may provide modest health benefits. Undoubtedly, the future will bring us more information and more issues to disagree upon. I hope our video gives you a couple ideas that can be implemented in your own home. Feel free to like and subscribe as you see fit, and I look forward to reading your comments down below. We'll catch you next time.